Hello World.
Welcome everybody to episode 2 of Synthcast, the podcast, if you will, for AI, or the AI for podcasts. We don't know yet, but with me to kind of delve into this new reality is Trish Yule. Trish, tell people who you are.
Hey Rob, thanks so much for having me on this episode of Synthcast. I'm the creator of the Crypto Owls NFT collection, which is the first NFT collection, HR related, around the world, and also the founder of Owls Ledge and the talent behind the $WISE talent token.
Now, the word talent, we're going to talk a little bit about that, and more specifically, talent marketplace. Now, that is a new term, but an old term in many ways, but we're going to kind of look into it from a fresh take. And to be able to do that, we first need to enter the synthverse. You ready to enter the synthverse? Because this is how it's done. Pew, 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 pew. What we need right now is a definition for talent marketplace. So we're going to cut to our assistant, and we're going to ask the question, what is a talent marketplace?
Talent marketplaces are a relatively new talent operating model that uses modern technologies to match people with individualized work opportunities and experiences both inside and outside an organization. Talent marketplaces can be hosted internal to an organization to support talent mobility of incumbent employees, or talent marketplaces can be hosted externally, increasingly as a new type of legal business entity called a decentralized autonomous organization, otherwise known as a DAO. Talent marketplaces internal to an organization offer an innovative approach to attracting, developing, motivating, retaining employees by matching, then presenting employees with the right challenges and varied opportunities to suit their skills, capabilities, career ambitions, and personal aspirations. External talent marketplaces offer similar opportunities to freelancers, consultants, and gig workers. One example of a DAO-based external talent marketplace is Braintrust. According to the Braintrust website Frequently Asked Questions, Braintrust is the first decentralized talent network that connects highly skilled technical freelancers with the world's most reputable brands like Nestle, Porsche, Atlassian, Goldman Sachs, and Nike. Braintrust's unique business model allows talent to retain 100% of their earnings and enables organizations to spin up flexible skilled teams on demand at a fraction of the cost of traditional staffing firms. Braintrust's new business model limits fee extraction and enables community governance and ownership, and is uniquely enabled by its native blockchain token BTRST. That's the definition of talent marketplaces. Now back over to you, Rob and Trish.
Now that we've got a definition for talent marketplace, what we're going to do is ask Trish, what is your elaboration on that definition?
So there are internal talent marketplaces and external talent marketplaces. And what's happening with that is internal to organizations with talent marketplaces, it has to do with skills. So it has to do with skills and capabilities of internal workers. And I'm using the word workers rather than employees because there's a number of different people with different types of work arrangements with an organization that would be working on projects or working over time, whether it's a short period of time or a longer period of time for an organization. So what skills and capabilities for that internal talent marketplace? And then external talent marketplaces are where can organizations draw from external talent in order to be able to basically staff those different types of projects, in particular with specialized talent as part of, we could call it the contingent workforce, we could call it the gig economy, but it's this whole idea of being able to secure temporary talent for a very specific reason, and usually around a very specific set of skills and capabilities.
I love the fact that you brought up both the internal corporate, if you will, solution as well as the gig economy, because a lot of large organizations don't know their talent pool. They don't know the inner workings of what these people are, and the records that show what the knowledge base of these employees might be is useless to query at best. And then, as you say, the gig economy, well, let's be honest, that is the future of work in many ways. I've been in the gig economy for over a decade now, right? So when we think about that, how is that different from, let's say, an Upwork or your basic HR package that might exist in a corporate layer?
Yeah, it's a great question. So one of the things that we're seeing that's starting to come about now is that we're seeing these talent marketplaces that are external that are being driven by decentralized autonomous organizations, otherwise known as DAOs, DAO, pronounced DAO. And those DAOs are essentially, they're a new business formation, right? So we have corporations, we have partnerships, we have, in the United States, we have limited liability companies. DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, are a new type of business entity. And essentially what happens with that is they're built on the modern Web3 technology architecture. So things like blockchain, things like cryptocurrency, and smart contracts. And basically what happens is it's a tokenized ecosystem, which means that the marketplace that exists, that talent marketplace that exists of, clients that are looking for talent, and talent, the people that have the skills and the capabilities that the clients are looking for, they are, the way that they're organized and the way that they are matched together is actually driven by the technology and the platform rather than by kind of a third party. So like back in the day, or even now, people might, as temporary help or as contract help, work through a contract house like a Manpower, as an example. And now, instead, you would work through the technology where the business logic, the remuneration, the way that the revenue is actually exchanged, the way that the money gets paid out is actually through the technology rather than through a third-party entity. And the difference there is that it's community driven. So these talent marketplaces, again, are tokenized. People have tokens. There's the community that exists within this ecosystem, within this marketplace, and features, functionality, who's represented, the types of clients, the types of work that's being done is all driven by the user community rather than by a leadership entity. And in fact, with a lot of the DAOs, we would anticipate, or what the roadmap is that over time, the original founding leadership around the setup of a decentralized autonomous organization would actually dissolve once it is over time that it's up and running, and it would just be governed actually by the smart contracts on blockchain.
So what we're going to do is we're going to ask our assistant to kind of sum up what Trish just said and maybe give you some extra information that we may not have been able to fit into the show.
Thank you, Rob and Trish, for your insightful comments on talent marketplaces. In closing, I'd like to quote a short passage from Deloitte. According to Deloitte's 2020 research entitled, Activating the Internal Talent Marketplace, both internal and external talent marketplaces can extend beyond jobs to providing internal employees and external workers with access to gig work, mentorship, rotation programs, stretch and volunteering assignments, and innovation and skill-building experiences that align with business needs to create a true opportunity marketplace. The report goes on to note, this talent model has the potential to change the way organizations think about work, by fractionalizing work for increased efficiency, the workforce, by unlocking greater potential and value, and the workplace, by breaking down silos. Are you interested in learning more about talent marketplaces? To learn more about internal talent marketplaces, check out Deloitte's report entitled, Activating the Internal Talent Marketplace. To learn more about external talent marketplaces, visit www.usebraintrust.com. Do you have questions? Contact Rob or Trish directly. We would be happy to hear from you. This concludes Synthcast Episode 2 on talent marketplaces. Goodbye for now.